All right, Mike. So for the Empire Classic, you're going to take on Indiana. Louisville and Texas are in the other matchup. Obviously, a great history for you in the Garden with the Knicks. When you had the opportunity to schedule this, why was it so intriguing?
Because it gives me an opportunity to go back to New York and play in front of New York fans and really for Jim Dolan, who's the owner of the Knicks, who I have a great deal of respect for, who I think gets a bad rap in New York. But that's the reason why I wanted to go back. And Indiana's always, visit New York over the years. I think back to when Coach Knight was the head coach here. He always loved to take his teams to New York. And so to be back in the Garden, man, for me, it's like a dream come true with my college team.
Going against a reigning national champ. They've got a tremendous following in the city. Last year with a team that could compete for the Big Ten title with TJD, Jalen Hood-Schifino, Race Thompson, and everyone else, you had a monster schedule. You didn't let up again with a retooled roster. Why?
Well, again, I think competition is good. It's good for our Indiana fan base. It's good for college basketball in general. And, what better way to start your season early and playing, the national champs. And they're going to be great this season, and we'll be tested. Having a young team, I mean, that's what it's about. You want to see where you are before you actually get to the Big Ten, which is brutal, as you know. Not only, UConn, but hell, you got Texas and Louisville there too. Will probably be two good teams as well. So only time will tell. We'll see what happens.
You had a reliable go-to player a year ago. Who can fit that void this season?
I don't know, Andy. Really, it's hard to say. I'm not putting pressure on any of these players to be Trace Jackson Davis or Jalen Safino, who were both great for our ball club last year. It's good to have Xavier Johnson back, somebody who was a big piece to our puzzle last season that broke his foot. So he's back as a fifth year guy that we're looking to help lead and push these younger guys to play at a high level, because that's what it's going to take, man. I mean, we got to all be on the same page, and guys got to learn how to compete, man. That's what it's about.
And one of my favorite players in the Big Ten, Trey Galloway, no longer a glue guy. I think he's going to have a monster season. In what way do you think he's going to impact this team?
Well, I like everything about Trey Galloway because he plays extremely hard. I made him one of the captains along with Xavier Johnson. And he's going to have to lead, and I'm going to give him a little more leeway than I've given him in the past. And hopefully he responds to that and get guys around him playing at a high level to help us win basketball games, because that's what it's all about.
And lastly, Mike, you guys have done a great job. Miller Kopp fit a hole. Now you got Clay Ware. What are you looking for when you go into that portal to fill that spot?
Well, again, I mean, we picked up a number of pieces. When you look at McKenzie, Mbako, you got big fella in Ware, Big Peyton that we got out of Ball State. We got Anthony Walker, out of Miami. I mean, we've got a lot of different pieces on this ball club, and it's going to be my job to put it together, man. I mean, a lot of these guys were around this summer, so we had an opportunity to work some this summer with them, but only time will tell, Andy, where we are once we start playing. And I'm kind of anxious to get to that point because I want to see where we are as a ball club.
Appreciate it, Mike.
All right. Thank you, Andy.